Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dylan Wootton, and I am one of Peter's cousins. Over the time that I've known Peter, I've had the opportunity to meet him both as a child, through his teenage years, and into his adulthood. And it was so striking to me, just the differences that you would see at all of these stages of life. And it made me actually a little sad that it wasn't until about a year and a half ago that I really got to feel like I got the chance to meet adult Peter. As many people here have talked about already, there's many changes that he has went through, but there's one particular story from a year ago that I would like to share today. About a year and a half ago, Peter and I sat outside of an AMC theater in a dimly lit parking lot. The time was 9 p.m., and the atmosphere was laden with remnants of dusk and the murmurs of departing moviegoers. We had just emerged from a screening of Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. The air around us was thick with emotion, the kind that wraps around your heart and shakes you awake, jolting you out of your everyday. For those unfamiliar, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is a movie that chronicles the journey of an immigrant family grappling with mental health challenges. At the heart of the narrative is the mother's quest to comprehend her daughter's depression. This odyssey takes them through a whirlwind of trials and adversities across the multiverse, where the mother often finds herself in direct conflict with her daughter, with each confrontation, in some odd way, bringing them closer together. A central question posed by this film is, how does one find meaning in a world seemingly devoid of it? The film struck a chord with Peter. In this openly vulnerable moment, Peter talked about the weight of the film's themes, reflecting on his own intense battles in his quest to find purpose. During that conversation, two things arose. First was Peter's love for creating, and in particular, for music. In the purest sense of the word, Peter was an artist. Instead of brushes and paint, he chose the eardrums of listeners as his canvas, crafting intricate, pulsating EDM beats that reverberated with emotion. His compositions weren't just melodies, they were narratives birthed from an untamed creativity and a profound desire to be able to leave his mark on the world. Through this art, not only did he find an outlet for healing, but he also discovered a community, a tribe where he felt understood and deeply loved. The second was for in connection with others, and in many ways involved Peter's sacrifice for others. Peter had a lot of love to give, and at times was willing to give it a bit to his detriment. I recall a phone conversation with Peter where he detailed driving 16 hours round trip for someone who he had just recently met. From a distance, such endeavors might appear as quirks of an obsessive personality, or maybe that of an episode of mania. Yet, when one delves beneath the surface, a different narrative emerges. A narrative that paints a vivid portrait of a man with an insatiable desire to connect, to be truly seen and understood, and in turn, to find someone who could resonate with his soul. Peter's battle with mental illness took a toll, casting shadows over these two very few things that once illuminated his life. This internal struggle affected his musical collaborations and at times made interacting with him difficult and challenging. To everyone here, bearing the weight of what ifs and if onlys, please know that this was never your burden to bear. None of you failed Peter. Instead, the real tragedy lies in a system that often falls short, leaving those most vulnerable and in need of help adrift. At the crescendo of Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, the main character and her daughter stand together in an emotional scene. The daughter cries out, "You could be anything, anywhere. Why not just go somewhere where your daughter is more than just this?" Here, all we get are a few specks of time where any of this makes any sense. Her mother grabs her hand holds it close, whispering to her, "Then I will cherish those few specks of time."